And this that I have here, which is not a urine sample container, nor anything like that, nor a liniment, nor a syrup, this is a bourbon. But how are you, dear friends of Talking About Whiskey, your favorite whiskey channel? My name is Eduardo, and here we are again in Madrid, the capital of what remains of the Kingdom of Spain, to make a new interesting video. Well, as I always say, what else could it be if it's not whiskey? Anyway, let's get back to bourbon. Let's return to the path of bourbon. And this that I have here, which is not a urine sample container, nor anything like that, nor a liniment, nor a syrup, this is a bourbon. Bourbon. It's called Hudson Baby Bourbon. 35 centiliters, which means a smaller bottle than I have ever seen in my life. And 46% alcohol volume distilled in a pot still, like the Scottish ones. Made with corn from New York, it is an urban distillery, and tells us that it is the first bourbon produced in the state of New York. It is aged in, obviously, new American oak, that is, new American oak barrels. And our baby bourbon says it possesses a rich character. It shows us a strong, intense amber color from the local grain with a unique aging process. This bourbon is flavorful, rounded with notes of vanilla, salted caramel, and toasted barrel. Aged for a minimum of 3 years, meaning that the youngest here is 3 years old. And then we have here the address, year 20, batch 28, bottle 1282. What's going on with this bourbon? Well, with this bourbon, I hear everything, from it being the biggest crap, the biggest fecal matter of whiskey ever produced, to people saying it's a marvel, a masterpiece. I've heard it all. Expensive as hell. I mean, this thing cost me around $40 or $50, and it's 35 centiliters. Let's open it and see if I can. Because look, it's like a seal or something. Let me show you the bottle properly. The bottle is amazing. I mean, it looks like a typical apothecary bottle, like old medicine. Doesn't it? Excuse me, do you have my anal ointment ready? Yes, here you go. Apply the rubs, under the scrotum twice a day. The bottle is really weird. Well, let's remove this if I can, because it's not even wax, it's like some kind of rubber. It's a very strange thing. Well, here we are again. It took quite a bit of effort. I had to make a cut. Look, it's very strange, isn't it? I made a cut with a knife, and then this layer comes off. It has a plastic cap here, but it's very weird. I mean, everything about this whiskey is weird. Do you see how strange this is and how strange the lid is? I think I broke it. I mean, the lid really came off because now I understand that it was supposed to go here, right? I understand that this was supposed to be attached here, and now you'll tell me how the hell I'm going to open this. It's a hassle. But well, this worries me less because it can be taken out little by little. But if indeed the lid is broken like crap, because this should just go here and stay here, right? Stuck here. Well, we managed to open it without any external contamination. So look at this strange thing, don't you see? Pouring it. And I'm telling you, I've heard it all. I've heard such poisonous things about this whiskey. I'm a bit biased thinking it's crap. I mean that it's a garbage whiskey because, of course, that's all I've heard. I don't know what I see and the reviews I see. Damn, they really tear it apart. Do you guys like the smell of gasoline when you refuel your car? Because for a moment it seems pleasant to me. Man, I can't stand it for too long because of the dizziness it gives me. But in a way, I find it pleasant, don't I? Well, there are people who can't stand that smell. So of course there are those cheeses that are so intense. There are cheeses, damn, that smell, man. Like a dead sewer, right? And there are people who devour them, right? Well, that's how it is. The truth is that it has a very, very beautiful color. When they talk about this dark color, it certainly is quite dark. A very amber color, and it moves with quite a bit of density. It is quite dense in the glass. All right, let's see. What we find on the nose with this Hudson Baby Bourbon. Baby Bourbon? Honestly, the name, well, I don't know. Let's see. Well, on the nose it's quite pleasant. A bit alcoholic at first. There are some very intense spices, some very strong spices. Some cloves, some vanillas. You know that there is a molecule produced inside the barrel that the wood imparts to the liquid, which is very similar molecularly, chemically to vanilla. The vanilla note is not a figurative or invented note, it really exists. It really exists. That's why most whiskeys and bourbons have a very intense vanilla smell, for example. There are others, right? Scents like coconut, banana, which are no longer present. There are no molecules similar to coconut or banana, as far as I know, in bourbon barrels. The nose is pleasant, it's rich, it's very sweet, tremendously sweet. A very cheesecake-like note as well. And vanilla ice cream. Cream. Well, the truth is that the nose is very, very, very pleasant. A very rich bourbon on the nose. At least on the nose, it also seems very rich. That's why I say that often opinions and tastings, when you see them around, you have to be a bit careful with them. The nose is very interesting, very pleasant, very rich, and it has the prototypical notes of bourbon. Let's say, except for the synthetic note. There are also notes of lavender, very floral notes, very oxygenated, very clean, like a very fresh smell, so to speak, like freshly cut grass, like herbs. Isn't it? Well, I really like it. I'm really enjoying the nose of this whiskey. Quite a lot. Let's see how this baby bourbon tastes. Cheers. Well, I have to tell you that it is quite good. You see, it is an intense bourbon. I like it because it is spicy, slightly hot, but just a little. The wood is very noticeable, super warm. The alcohol integration is very good. It's a bourbon that has the basic notes of bourbon, like on steroids. The synthetic note doesn't appear. That acetone note, that sometimes shoe polish note, that bit of gasoline note, so to speak, that octite note, the glue note that these bourbons sometimes have. Well, I find it delicious. What can I say? On the nose, it is a bun, a sweet, a cake, and on the palate, it is an intense, powerful, and rich bourbon. Great whiskey. Extraordinary, extraordinary. I recommend it right away. I completely disagree with the videos I've seen, just a couple of them. Maybe it was just a coincidence that the two I saw were terrible. It is a bourbon that is halfway between conventional bourbon and a slightly less friendly bourbon. In other words, the bourbon is a bit like coffee, for the real coffee lovers. It's a bourbon that hits warmly, and it's very well crafted. It's a simple bourbon, with the basic notes of bourbon, but very intensified. It's not the best bourbon I've tried. Man, no. I'd take a Craig over this any day. Well, probably yes, that's clear. A Noah's 1000, man, of course, certainly. But of course, this one is not far behind either. I mean, it's a great, great bourbon, a great whiskey. Well, look, 2009, I'm happy, damn it, because all I heard was crap about it. I thought, well, they've sold me another piece of garbage. I bought it because it's damn expensive. Well, folks, another bourbon added to the collection. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it and had fun. Hey man, since you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next video on the channel if you want, of course. Be very happy. That's the most important thing. See you soon. Bye. Take good care of yourself.